Oh my god, hold on. I think we arrived.
Looking at Luxembourg, Australia and Lithuania.
Alright, here we go.
The first country to qualify for the grand final is Lithuania!
Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! First qualifier, baby! Woo! Yes!
Lithuania, Luxembourg,
yes!
Australia.
Here we go!
Now looking at the next three.
Alright.
Israel, Czechia, and Montenegro. The second finalist is Israel! Keep in mind, no one gets eliminated until the very end. Let's have a look at the next three countries.
Moving on.
Armenia, Serbia, and Malta.
Oh,
The third
that's
country
mildly surprising.
is
Please, Malta, come on.
Armenia.
Oh, okay. I think we might be losing someone then. No, we definitely are losing someone, I think.
Congratulations.
I think the only ideal scenario would have been if Israel didn't qualify, but...
Ireland and Latvia.
Wow! That is a selection for sure.
On Saturday is Denmark.
Susan made it! Oh my god! I can't believe it! She made it! She made it! Oh my god! She made it! Oh my god!
Participants can
Yes!
still
Yes!
have 6 more
Yes!
spots available
Yes!
in the grand final. And we are the ones
Oh my god!
news. This is the best job in the world. I think so too.
Oh my god.
Let's have a look at Malta, Austria, and Greece. The next
Okay.
finalist is Austria.
Nice. Nice. It's expected, really. Hello, Taya. That's Taya on the right, by the way. Well, she's being covered by JJ at the moment, but that is Taya
Now,
on the right.
looking at Ireland, Serbia, and Luxembourg.
It has to be Luxembourg. Come on.
The sixth country through to the
Sixth?
final is
There's still so many countries to go. What?
Luxembourg.
Yeah. Honestly, after tonight's performance, I'm chill with that. I don't like the song, but the performance is solid. They get to keep their 100% qualification record for now.
We would love to keep everyone here, but this competition has its rules. Let's move on.
Oh, I'm so nervous for Latvia and Czechia especially.
My hands are actually sweating so much. Mine too.
And Australia. Why haven't they called Australia yet?
And I have a terrible cheese breath, but it's not about my breath.
Finland, surely.
So looking at Finland, Czechia, and Georgia.
Oh my god. I'm so terrified for Czechia, you guys.
The final is Finland.
Okay, nice. I'm not surprised. They absolutely deserve it. They might even win the whole thing. Great.
Latvia.
Oh my god, all three
Australia,
deserve to go through.
And Greece.
And Czechia, so that means we're
Finalist
kind of screwed.
is
Wait, what?
Latvia.
Yes! Yes! Ultimate Spinawa! How to make us final! Woo! Yes! Oh my god,
Okay,
amazing!
This is where it gets really thrilling.
Oh my
Next
god.
3 countries are Malta,
Malta, surely!
Montenegro,
It has to be
and
Malta!
Georgia.
It has to be Malta! It has to be Malta!
Country to qualify is
It has to be Malta! It has to be Malta!
Malta.
Yes! 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 Why is she stuffing a phone in her face? Why is she stuffing a phone in her face? But still, Malta in...
Malta for securing spot number
Oh
9.
my
Now,
god! Australia!
there is only one
What?
spot left in the grand final. But 7 countries are still hoping.
It's gotta
Which
be Australia
country
qualifying, right?
will be the lucky one?
But
Which
Greece
contestant will
non-qualify?
get to join all the artists
What?
who managed to qualify in the first semi-final alongside the Big Five? Who will be back on
I'm
this stage
speechless.
on Saturday with the chance to win the Eurovision Song Contest?
Oh my god, I'm a wreck.
I am.
I'm not.
The countries left are Australia,
It has to be Australia, right? Surely.
Montenegro,
Like I love Claudia. She's amazing.
Ireland,
But surely, from a sheer televote perspective, it has to be Australia, right?
Greece, Georgia,
I think she's kind of accepted her fate at this point.
Czechia,
Oh no, I have a really bad feeling.
and Serbia.
I have a really bad feeling it's gonna be Australia, and then Czechia is gonna withdraw, and then we're not gonna see them
You
in the
at
contest for
home
the next
made
couple of
this
years.
decision, and we will announce it now. The last country to compete in the grand final on Saturday is
I don't want to lose Australia, but I also don't want to lose Czechia.
Greece.
What? Australia out? Sorry, I'm talking too close to the mic, but
Congratulations!
Australia out?
And here
What?
are tonight's 10 finalists who will come back to this stage for the grand final.
Okay, I'm muting the stream because, well, it's pretty much ended at this point, but like, huh? Oh my god. Australia? Sorry, I'm not even that gagged to Czechia anymore. Czechia's odds have been falling day after day. I'm sad, obviously. It's Czechia. It's my stand country basically, but Australia not qualifying? What? Oh my god. Okay, let me try to find some sort of qualification graphic. I think there's probably gonna be one. There's one on Eurovision World. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna paste that in. There we go. These are our qualifiers. Wow. I mean, if anyone wants to chat, now's the time, I guess. Hmm. Wow. I'm kind of lost for words here. Look, I'm so happy that Seesaw qualified. But if you ask me, I really don't think Armenia should have. In its place. Uh God, I don't know. Actually, I might just open like the actual Eurovision World thing. Uh Hold on. Uh I mean, I'm kind of lost for words. Not for Czechia so much. Like, I'm obviously sad that didn't go through. And now watch, it's not even gonna be like 11th. It's gonna be like 12th or 13th or something like that. Um, I'm gutted for Czechia, obviously, but Australia? I don't think anyone, I don't think anyone ever even considered the possibility of Australia not making it. I'm I'm lost for words, really. Australia not qualifying after all of that? I'm shook, you guys. I'm shook. Oh, yeah. The host is performing her own song back from. Oh, hello. Uh, yeah. Here's a little bit of footage if anyone's watching. I don't think anyone is, but yeah. All right, that's the end of the stream officially. Right. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm lost for words. Wow. For some of these, obviously, I'm really happy for them, but. Oh my god. What? Okay, so if you look at this by the running order, none of the first three acts qualified. Oh my god. Wait, so hold on. 16 countries in the competition. So, yeah, we definitely had more countries in the second half qualifying than the first half. Oh man. Hold on, let me get out my original prediction. I am massively wrong on this one, and I take the L. Um. Okay, here's my qualifier prediction that I made before the rehearsals. Okay, so that country is in here for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think what I got wrong was Armenia. Yeah, I got what I got wrong was Armenia and Luxembourg in place of Australia and Czechia. Australia? Oh, oh man, that's 2 years in a row now, non-qualifying. Again, I'm super happy for Seesaw. I'm so glad she made it. But oh my god. I mean, I got 8 out of 10. That's not terrible. But I think a lot of it was also just wishful thinking. I mean, clearly it was with Australia and Czechia. Oh man. People people in my group chat are saying happy for Gabe. Yeah, actually someone took a video of Gabe in some sort of like pub or bar or something like that, and um he was like shouting out the song. Let me see if I can find it. It was posted by Jay, who's Gabe's editor. The internet is terrible right now. But hold on. Yeah, so my Wi-Fi is showing 2 bars right now, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to stream the final. I hope I can. Considering the traffic isn't too bad. Over here at least it's like 5:30 a.m. as I'm recording this, so the local traffic isn't too bad, so that'll be fine. But man, I'm still trying to process the results. But uh, yeah, this is. I'm a survivor. Yep, and that is Gabe slash Park slash Garg slash Gybe or whatever the hell you would call him at this point. In what seems to be a bar or an Irish pub or something like that in Basel, duplicating, to quote Jay here. But yeah, okay, coming back to this, like all in all, I got 17 out of 20, which you can I could very well do worse. 17 out of 20. Yeah, yeah. Well, technically 16 out of 19. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, overall I got 17 out of 20, which not bad, but at the cost of Czechia non-qualifying. So what is all this for then? Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna make like a reflection video on how I did on the qualifiers. This might be the last video you're going to see this graphic. Well, it's not even a video; it's a stream. But yeah, this is the last time you're gonna see this graphic on my channel. I got 17 out of 20, which is pretty good, but also at the cost of Czechia non-qualifying and also Gojo from Australia not qualifying, which I still can't really digest. I'll be honest, I'm still not really convinced by Armenia's performance. Like, the song is still just giving toxic masculinity. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was the diaspora that took it through. I don't know. Luxembourg, fine. Take your win. Um, I can fully accept that. I saw that, and afterwards I was like, "Oh my god, Czechia is really in trouble now." And yeah, they sure enough were. So yeah, coming back to this, yeah, these are qualifiers. Again, super happy for some of these, like like Seesaw for Denmark. Obviously Latvia and Lithuania, which means we have all three Baltic countries in the final, which we love to see. Um, Obviously no Montenegro and no Serbia, which means no Balkans, or rather no ex-Yugoslavia in the final. We have Albania, of course, but we have no ex-Yugoslav countries in the final, which is a shame. But I don't know. I think for them the quality of the songs really drastically vary, and some years you have just an amazing Croatia, but in many years Serbia tends to be more solid. Um, yeah. So right. I don't know. Obviously, I'm gutted for Adonis. I've always said that. No, I haven't always said it. I don't think I've ever tweeted this, but you know, just from his voice alone, he is a Eurovision winning artist. But Kiss Kiss Goodbye clearly was not a Eurovision winning song, and I don't know. Maybe I think I can think of all sorts of reasons for us not qualifying, and one big one is just that they just don't have friends or diaspora. Um, like even Montenegro, which has Serbia giving them 12, didn't qualify, and likewise vice versa. So what hope is there for Czechia, who don't even have Slovakia to give them 12, right? So for Czechia to really qualify, they are going through on their own merits. Mark my words. So yeah, I think, like, I hate to say it, and honestly, I might start. It might sound like I'm just being suddenly mean to Czechia and to Adonis for this. But yeah, there might be a little sense that, and these are not my opinions, by the way. I don't agree with them, but maybe people thought that Kisses Goodbye was a little sterile. I heard William from Weeby Blogs use that word the other day, and honestly, one could reasonably use that word to describe Czechia's performance, and obviously it didn't help that he missed the mark. And I think people will be talking about that, unfortunately. But I don't really have a good explanation for Australia not making it, other than for the fact that it's Australia. They're not a European country, and maybe there's still that um there's still that xenophobia. I don't know, but yeah. Hold on, I'm just looking through other chats right now. Since no one's in the chat this time, unlike last time when we had a couple of Estonians in here, that's fine. I'm mostly rambling to myself anyways. I might actually go on a voice chat with someone else later, but wow. I mean, fair play to everyone who qualified, except for one. I think oh my god. I'm lost for words. Seriously. I mean, if I'm being really honest, Montenegro, Ireland, Georgia, Serbia, I thought are pretty much DOA. Yes, including Ireland. I think they would have needed a Bambi Thug level elevation, but Emmy did not seem like the kind of artist to be able to make that kind of elevation, unlike Mammy Thug. And yeah, when it came out, that performance was really quite static, which really didn't help. But let's go through each of these one by one. The starter of the opener of the show, that was Australia. I thought it was really fun. I think although at times I think the performance may have been a little bit empty. That's one thing I would say. It feels a little empty at times, and the um the costume change procedure is not as smooth as I think it should be. So that might be something that kind of held it back for Montenegro. Yeah, sorry. I don't think they were ever going to qualify. Um, you can throw votes at them all you want, but Montenegro is a small country. They only have Serbia in this semifinal as like voting allies. That was me turning on the aircon. Um, yeah, Montenegro, they just don't have much of a budget to do well at Eurovision. Um, the only way these small countries can do well is by doing like simple but effective stagings. Ironically, kind of like Switzerland have this year. But also my mind thinks of things like North Macedonia 2019, for example. That was also like simple but effective. Then they qualified in the final and then won the jury. That's like the only way they can really realistically do well, because they just can't afford to do anything more extravagant. So yeah, Montenegro out. I don't think anyone was thinking they were going to qualify ever. I mean, there were delusions, but realistically, yeah, the numbers are not in their favor. Then we have Ireland. Yeah, I've already talked about it. It's a very static performance. I didn't expect it to qualify, and sure enough, it didn't. And actually, real quick, it competes directly with Luxembourg, I think, in terms of childish songs, if you will, and Luxembourg just outstages them a million times. And actually, I heard from Eurovision Tom earlier that the team doing it is a Ukrainian team, so I guess that's where the Ukrainian staging brains went, and not so much to Zifferblatt. Don't get me wrong, I love them and I'm really happy that they qualified, but yeah, that is not the wow Ukraine that we're used to expecting at Eurovision. So I guess those brains went to Luxembourg instead. Yeah, Luxembourg just outstaged Ireland in every single aspect. Moving on, Latvia qualified. Really happy about that. I like to think my vote had some impact, but also Latvia does have a pretty significant diaspora in like the UK and Ireland, for example. So I think that might have helped, and certainly I think this higher quality entry has raised more attention amongst diaspora Latvians. So I'm really glad they made it through. It is a really quality entry, and there were concerns that this was too inaccessible, but no, they made it, and I'm really, really glad for that. Right, moving on, we have Armenia, which the staging is pretty good. I won't say like it was Luxembourg levels of wow, but for what it is with this song, I think they did the best they could, or almost the best they could. I still don't like the song though. It's like it really sounds like it's very like toxic masculinity type stuff, and the staging, i.e., him mostly being half naked, really doesn't help with that. Yeah, so that's Armenia. I'm not particularly a fan of the song, and the staging doesn't improve that for me either. So let's move on to Austria. I mean, this was, I think this was always going to qualify. Yeah, this is always going to qualify. I think the question now remains is, will this be too divisive in the final to win? And personally, I'm not seeing a winning spark with this. Sorry, I don't know what's happening to my voice, but yeah, I'm not seeing a winning spark with this. But it is a pretty well staged song for what it is. Yeah, I think none of what was his name again? Oh yeah, none of Sergio Hyen's stagings this year, I think, really stack up against Doomsday Blue. I think they're solid stagings for what it's worth, although Cyprus was quite decidedly less impressive than it had been advertised to be. Yeah, and for this, I think the camera work is not clean enough, and it makes the boat look too small. Maybe that was the intention. Maybe their intention was to make a small boat, but to me the boat looked too small for a thing like this. Just my personal opinion, but it is an interesting staging for sure. Not really a winning staging, I think, so to speak. But obviously, it's still good that it made it through to the final. For Greece, I think it's interesting, and I think it again shows that people like prioritize song quality. Well, to an extent, but prioritize song quality over the staging, because the staging is pretty minimal, and but Claudia has an amazing voice, obviously, and I think that might have been what actually sold it in the end. For Lithuania, yeah, Lietuva. My god, that 15-second long zoom into Lucas's face is genuinely some of the most impactful stuff of the entire contest this year, I think. There's a draw in it. I don't know how else to really describe it, but honestly, when this won, Eurovision HCLT, I wasn't super convinced by it, but oh my god, seeing it on this stage, yeah, I'm totally all for Lithuania. I've got my flag that I bought at Maxima last year. I still haven't opened it. Maybe I should to wave it a little bit during the final, but no one's gonna see it. But yeah, that staging actually really, really convincing, and I'm really glad we made it to the final, and so we now have all three Baltic countries in the final, with Ukraine, with the Nordics. I'll get to Denmark in a sec. For Malta, I was actually talking about this, well, to myself mostly. I was talking about this earlier when I went on my walk, but actually, ESC Tom did a kind of prediction video, and he was kind of disappointed that people couldn't hear the crowd shouting "cunt." I think they've actually kind of just shifted away from that, honestly, because to be able to understand that phrase requires not only fluent knowledge of English, but fluent knowledge of LGBTQ English. And, not a lot, of the millions of people who watch Eurovision, yeah, there's not going to be a lot who know that specific phrase and the specific wordplay. So instead, what Malta have gone on to do is to just make a good staging, and I think that worked. And obviously, Miria Conte is a good vocalist, so yeah, I think they've kind of shifted their focus with the entry, and it clearly worked. Malta back in the final. Congratulations to them. Congratulations also to Denmark, who finally broke their non-qualification streak we love Seasol in this house. Yeah, she is a legend. She has worked her ass off to get Denmark back on track. I have to note the camera cuts are so sharp, at least for Denmark standards. On some of the like drum hits, for example, it changed with the hit, and that's very effective. And it's not something you would normally expect from Denmark. So, again, really good job from Seasol. I really fully believe that this was her idea to do it that way. Is it staging perfect? No. But I think, like with Greece, this is another case of people voting because of a good song, or at least a more mainstream song, as opposed to necessarily looking too much at the staging. So, yeah, good job to Seasol. I am so happy for her. And Denmark is back in the final for the first time since 2019. Yeah, all Nordic countries are in the final for the first time in ages. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Denmark. I'm not gonna say Denmark you did well. I'm gonna say Seasol you did well. And she obviously sang amazingly as well. And then we have. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to talk about Georgia. Well, I think that goes to show how much I care. I mean, she sounds good. Don't get me wrong, but the whole package just did not meld together. But fortunately, because Armenia qualified, we will still have at least one Caucasus country in the final, so that's cool, I guess. But from Georgia, let's move on to my heartbreak of the night. That's Czechia. Yeah. I mean, what do I have to say, really? It was like a perfect storm. The song started to get sterile. It's really not a song that hits most people on the first listen, to be honest. And then he missed the mark. He missed the cue. And then got upstaged or outstaged by Luxembourg by many, many miles, and by Laura Thorne, who sounds a lot better and a lot more confident. Yeah, I'm devastated, but these consequences do not do him well, to be honest. So, yeah, a shame for sure, but hopefully one day we'll see Adonis return for Slovakia and get his Eurovision win as he deserves. Moving on to the country that outstaged Czechia, that's Luxembourg. Yeah, again, take the dub. That was a really powerful, well, I don't know, powerful, but that was a really effective staging. And the LED dollhouse at the start, honestly, really cool. And it really like makes clear what it's trying to reference. And yeah, good on them. And good on them for maintaining, so far, their 100% qualification rate. Let's move on to Finland. Oh, wait, Serbia, well, not really. I mean, honestly, I think at that point people had gotten tired of seeing younger middle-aged men in the in the semifinal, and also just the song is just not good. And honestly, I think Eurovision Tom, he pointed out that Serbia has never been outside the top 11 of a semifinal. Well, I think that changes here. I think 11 and 12 were Australia and Czechia. I don't say that with any certainty, but I think that is what happened. And I don't think Serbia got anywhere near that part. And because you need to also understand this in the context of what's going on right now in Serbia and how that relates particularly to Serbian diaspora that might be thinking of voting for Serbia themselves, or the home country, if you will. Right now, RTS is seen as a mouthpiece for the government, and they've been accused of basically hiding things that make the government look bad, student protests, and also kind of mischaracterizing some of these student protesters as kind of violent, which they aren't. And so it has got a pretty poor reputation in Serbia right now, and no doubt that also translates to the Serbian diaspora across Europe, and I would say especially in Austria and Switzerland. There's a good amount of Serbs, and obviously in Montenegro. But yeah, I think all of that combined with the perception that anyone representing Serbia right now is also representing the state of Serbia, I think just builds a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth, if you will, against Serbia, against RTS, and against Prince. So yeah, I think all of that, plus it is just, I think, a bit way too late for in the running order. So yeah, I'm not surprised this didn't qualify. I'm talking a lot in circles, but I never expected this to qualify to begin with, and obviously the pedophilia allegations don't help. And we end the show with Finland. Yeah, I have actually now seen two separate people say that the two countries that give winner vibes are Finland and Switzerland. And I would not mind either of these at all. I mean, I would be happy, like, with a lot of countries winning, actually, except that one. But I think I would be the most happy if either Switzerland, Finland, or Albania won. For Austria, I just feel like it's not a winning song, it's not a winning performance. For Sweden, I think if they win, they would be hosting in Sweden, and Kai would not want to see their win for Sweden celebrated in Sweden. You get me? So that's one of the reasons I don't want to see Sweden win. Plus, I don't think this will do well enough in the jury. What with all of the jury bait songs now in the final. But yeah, overall, I would be really happy to see either Switzerland, Finland, or Albania winning it. Although I have doubts as to whether Albania can really pull through, as it were. But yeah, amazing performance from Erika. Like, that is the definition of a boss lady right there. Super, super badass. And yeah, I think, yeah, I don't really know what to say. She's just really badass. She's really, really confident. And yeah, hopefully she at least does well in the final, if not win. Likewise with Switzerland. So yeah, I'm gonna stop my recap of the semifinal there. These are the finalists, and yeah, some devastating losses, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's that for the semifinal. Although I will quickly kind of point out the big five performances. We had UK, France, and Germany today. The UK, the girls sound great. Don't get me wrong, but the whole performance is a little all over the place, I think. And I hate to say it, but I would not be surprised if I saw this come last in the final again with 0 points in the televote. But yeah, they sound amazing. So I hope they at least get some jury points. For France, I don't have them on here, by the way. I don't think so. Oh well, I guess I do. Yeah, France, Germany, UK. For France, I mean, it is elaborate, but I think it feels too manufactured, and also that one shot where the sand is kind of like exploding out behind her. I'm sorry, that really looks like explosive diarrhea. I hate to say it, but it's not the best imagery, if you will. I can't see this winning jury. She's amazing. Don't get me wrong. She sounds really good. Her voice, but I think this feels a little too manufactured and not really suited to the song per se. For Germany, however, I thought that was great. We're always skeptical, I think, when you see a big prop on screen, but actually, even though we expected Tina to walk down from the front, no, she didn't. She actually walked down from the back, and then actually the whole thing, for what it's worth, was actually a lot more dynamic than the big prop would have you believe. So actually, I think that worked really, really well, and likewise, I hope this does well in the final. It's not gonna win, but I think it really does well to try to emulate a kind of Berghain type of vibe, Berlin party vibe. It does well at that, and I do think Abor being there is a little isn't the word I'm looking for isn't off-putting, outstanding, and not necessarily in a bad way, but also not necessarily in a good way. But most people will just kind of neutrally comment like, "Why is he there?" But I think for what it's worth, he was integrated into the performance pretty well, and obviously the cello smash becomes a metaphorical cello smash, but it still worked out fine, I think, and obviously Tina sounds amazing. She does not have to have amazing vocals for this song. This song is not a song that's necessarily focused on the vocals, and so yeah, I think Germany's performance was actually really solid. But yeah, it's not winning the contest. I hope they do well in the final though. So yeah, that is the recap for semifinal 2. Some heartbreaks for sure, some inexplicable results for sure. But at least we got to see all in the final. We got all Baltics and all Nordics in the final. Latvia in the final, Malta in the final. We gotta find wins where they exist, right? So, yeah, that is gonna do it for this recap. I need to go to sleep. My exam is not tomorrow, actually, it's the morning of the day after tomorrow. And I have barely started studying at all, so yeah, I'm gonna call it here. And yeah, tomorrow is the rehearsal for the grand final, and I don't know if we have the running order yet. I would guess that's the no, but hold on, let's see. Okay, ESC Discord is posting stuff, but it's not necessarily running order related. All 5 Nordic countries have qualified for the 2025 final for the first time since 2014. Wow. And then, for the second year in a row, 3 Baltics in the final. And for the first time since 2013, all formerly Yugoslav countries have failed to qualify to the Eurovision final. Gosh. Yeah. Definitely mixed feelings for sure. But yeah, we've still not got the running order for the grand final yet, and I suspect it'll be out in less than 15 minutes after I finish posting this or something like that. Well, it's not gonna be too long. I think it's gonna be like maybe 1 or 2 hours after the final. But I'm not gonna stay up for that. I would rather either read it while I'm about to go to sleep, or just read it tomorrow when I wake up. Well, it's already tomorrow. It's already 6 a.m. But I might just read it when I wake up. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day here. We just reached 50 minutes on the stream counter, the stream timer, and yeah, thank you for following along. Judging by the view count, if you are following along, you're just following afterwards. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and I'll see you at the grand final.